there's something wrong in you. There's a disconnection. You need to identify what that is. There's a triggering that's going on. It's not ICT that does it. A lot of people like to say, oh, I hate that button guy. I don't care if you like me or not. The point is, this is the truth. It's the facts. I brought in my own baggage. I needed to feel significant because my own fucking parents didn't want me. That you can't get any bigger than that. So you might be surprised if you find success and you find notoriety. You know, it might be the same for you or other people that thrive in that. You want to be a celebrity and you become one and you excel in it. I just don't feel comfortable with it. Like I'm just a regular person, you know, with a blessing. And I asked in a prayer that if he would let me understand it, put it in front of me where I can understand it, I would spend the rest of my life teaching it. And once I've said everything I will say publicly, there's nothing left for me to teach. Like I've emptied myself out. And anything that's kept is not for you. And I don't feel obligated. That wasn't part of the arrangement because I taught how to trade. I taught how to read the markets the way I see it. And I understand how it's delivered. And I'll be content. And that's my goal. That I have an itinerary, like I said, what I want to talk about, when I want to talk about it, how I want to talk about it. And when we're done, we're done. And being upset about it is just a waste of energy and time. Pour yourself into the content. Study it. Make it yours. And then don't forget me. Shoot me an email at innercircletrader@gmail.com. And I will love to see your testimony. I would love to see what you're doing. I get so many of them every single week. There's so many people around the world that reach out to me and say, this is what I've been able to do. This is what I'm doing with it. You know, paying for communities in impoverished nations to be fed, you know, putting wells in places where they don't have drinking water. You know, that's the stuff I'm talking about. Not, I bought this Lamborghini. I bought this McLaren. You know, I bought this house here. I live in a new place of the world because of you. Thank you. Yeah, that's great. God bless you for that. But I want to know what you do with it to help other people. That's what I want. I want to see you doing that. Contributing to people that don't have it. Your focus is to look for quality over quantity. Your goal should not be, I can take 12 trades intraday in the same day and all of them be profitable. That's not something you should strive for. You want to be able to be consistently profitable and content with looking for the best, the choicest, the cream of the crop, best setups. So that way you can trust it. And when you're able to do that, number one, you're exhibiting discipline, you're exhibiting self-control that most traders don't have. They don't have that. The way you arrive at it is having a model that's well-defined. What are you looking for? What does it look like? When does it occur consistently? See, if the markets were random, and I'm going to say this and close it. If the markets were indeed random, how the fuck is a silver bullet setup possible? And why is it so consistent? Because the markets are not random. They're controlled, they're coded, and they're ran by an algorithm. And because it's coded and it's ran by an algorithm, it has to do certain things. And we are waiting for the time when manipulation would occur, whether it be automated within the part that is algorithmic, or if it's manual intervention. We're waiting for that displacement. And we'll fall victim to trades that are manually intervened. Sometimes there'll be a trade that sets up, you'll get in it, you're following all the rules, and then all of a sudden, hang on 1 second, I had to turn the car back on. There you go. You'll take a trade, and it'll be stopped out. But nothing has changed. All it was a run on the liquidity one more time. Your stop was in too early, you entered too early, and then you got to re-enter the market. How do you know that? Experience, studying old moves, not seeing the other side of the marketplace just because you got stopped out. If I get stopped out and I'm like, okay, I got stopped out, did it really change anything? No, it just ran for my stop. No problem, I'm going back in. Okay, That's what happens. Sometimes you're going to do it wrong as a human being. But you have to have the experience to be able to identify the market still has the opportunity to do what I expected in the beginning, even though I took a loss. There's going to be times where you see the market change and morph into, if you're bullish, something extremely bullish. You watched me do that on Friday too. Market went down. I was already long several contracts, and it went one more time down into a level that I felt that was returning just for a reclaimed PD array. And I went and I knew that was the one. That was the one I was waiting for. There's no doubt about it. And added another larger position in terms of the trade size. And it turned right there and ran away. That's experience. You can't get that from a book, even if I wrote it. You can't get that from a video, whether I do a 5-minute video of it or someone else tries to reduce it down to a 5-minute video, or if I do a whole week-long lecture on it. It needs to be experienced individually. And that's the part that nobody wants to hear. Nobody wants to hear that. They think that there's going to be a teacher out there that's going to be able to tell them real short and easy, this is what you need to know, and now you heard me say it, or I showed it to you as an example, now you know how to do it. That's bullshit. Believe me, that's bullshit. The folks that use my name on their YouTube channels and they say, I've done all the work so that way you don't have to, or learn this easier and faster. ICT did this, and I can make it faster for you. That's bullshit. That's bullshit, because you can't compress what needs to be learned on an individual basis. You can't. That is a bandwidth that's uniquely experienced. You can't do anything to change it. You can't augment it. You can't speed it up. You can't elongate it. It is what it is. And that's what makes this expensive as an industry. Not because you can lose money, but because it takes a lot of fucking effort and time. And you bring all your baggage to it. All your character flaws, the things that you don't like about yourself. And if you're really forced to look at it, it'll make you unsettled. And some people don't like who they discover who they are. And they manifest that in losing because they don't want to weather going through it, to grow through that. They just want to turn their cheek and say, oh, this guy's a fraud. This stuff doesn't work. Nobody makes money trading. And there it is. And that allows them to live the existence where they haven't corrected their problems. Their impatience, their impulsiveness, their greed, their lazy fuckingness. Like I just coined a term, lazy fuckingness. Whatever. Lazy doesn't work here, folks. Lazy doesn't work, and impatience doesn't allow you to stay in this game long enough to learn. So you have to be patient. You have to be really, really disciplined with your time. If you're listening to someone, like for instance, someone new that comes to this industry, maybe this is the first time you listen to me, and I probably talked about things that mean nothing to you, and you probably are going to close this in a couple minutes when I end it, if you're even going to stay that long. You probably already turned off anyway, just to be honest with you. But the folks that see or listen to things like this and come away with this expectation or opinion that this was a waste of time. You haven't traded with real money. You haven't found consistency yet. Because you believe that there's something out there someone has that's going to be easy, 1, 2, 3. You're going to understand it real quick. You're never going to make mistakes. You don't have to fix any character flaws in yourself. And you're going to make money and you'll never have a losing trade. Believe me, I felt that same shit existed too when I first started. You may not admit it publicly on social media, but that's deep down inside, that's what you're really looking for, because you really believe that it's out there. And I'm probably the closest thing to it. And if I had this, there's got to be somebody else out there that has this much better, and shortened it up, make it real easy for you. And I'm being honest with you. The things I'm telling you that I can't teach you, no one's going to be able to teach you. You learn it from experience. You lose, you learn from that. How can I teach you adequately how to fix a $25,000 drawdown with real money? How can I tell you in a book, in a video series? How can I, even if I did it live? I went into a live account, purposely lost $25,000 and say, now here's how I'm going to fix it. You can't bring yourself to the same perspective as if it was your $25,000. You can't. You have to experience that. So there's a whole lot of learning curve to this that everybody simply just tiptoes around it and tap dances like it's all going to be good. It's not. And you have to learn the most valuable lessons are from the pain, the losing. I love when I hear people, whether it be using my content, even folks that are outside of what I teach, when they're candid with their audience and they say, you know, I'm really having a hard time with this, and I lost this, and this is what I did wrong. Man, I have the utmost fucking respect for somebody like that because that's the reality. Everybody can go out there with hindsight fucking Harry mentorship level shit and talk about what's already happened. And it sounds educated. It sounds like, oh, wow, he should be able or she should be able to do that live. But they'll never do it. They'll never fucking do that. They won't call it. They won't trade it. They won't even record their executions. And they're building their name on fucking horse shit just for clout. The folks that are out there that are really out there in the trenches and they're sharing, whether they're teaching or just making their experience known to everyone else on YouTube, just record them. Just record them. And then afterwards, whether it's good or bad, go in and tell everybody what you're feeling and what you felt at the time. That's valuable. I would love to fucking see it because you're being honest when you say you're not doing something right or you're struggling. That to me is refreshing. That's refreshing because take a look at what is promoted in this industry, whether it's Forex or futures or trading crypto, whatever the fuck it is. Everybody believes that it's the fucking rich lifestyle. That's all they got to show. They don't show anything else. If I lose, I'm going to show you I fucking lose. If I get it wrong, I'm not going to sugarcoat it and tap dance around it. I'm like, okay, I did that wrong. Boom, 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 boom. This is what I'm doing now. How often am I doing it incorrectly? I'm telling you what's going to happen, and it does. But you saw on Friday, I took a $975 hit. Didn't do shit to me. Bringing the element of humanity into it will grow your channel. Drama is not going to sell your shit. You just look like a little weak person with little dick complex. Okay? Trolling is stupid. Everybody out there can be trolled. I can be trolled. Everybody can be trolled. Be real and don't try to tear other people down. Now, I can tear down other approaches to trading because it's all shit. And I can tell you why it's shit. I can show you where its weaknesses are and where I use my content to smash the shit out of it. Anybody that uses that logic. That's not me going after any one particular YouTube operator. But the people that use that methodology will take offense to that and say, well, he's talking about me. No, I'm not. If I'm going to talk about you, I'm going to drop your fucking name like I just did. Stop talking about me for clout. Just stop talking about me. Just focus on you. But be real. Patrick's strengths are when he's real and when he puts down his ego and he says what he's doing wrong. That is growth. He'll learn from his own shit and he'll also tell his audience that this is normal. Everybody experiences it. I went through it. I physically had to take myself away from the charts because I know the tendency for me. I like to think I'm better than my algorithm. And if I'm given an opportunity or a stage to do so, why the fuck should I get out here and do something I know deep down inside I'm not going to be in my best performance? I'm not. So I took myself away from it. And then I took myself in front of the charts when it was presented itself. And then boom, like gangbusters, exactly how we saw our charts. Your chart looks like mine. I predicted the future using what I teach you. We didn't react to shit. We don't react to anything. We predict the future. We predict where price is going to go. We wait for certain things to occur. We go in and attack it like that cheetah, an algorithm. An algorithm. I just coined another term. An analogy. Okay, so when we're looking at price, we're anticipating certain performance in price and then go after it. We're not, if it does this, I'm going to react to it by doing that. No, I know. My students know it's going to do this. When it does, my limit order is waiting for it. I'm waiting for it to do what I already know it's likely to do. And when it does, I'm all over that shit. And I'm going to milk it and look for low-hanging fruit objectives. Easy targets. Well, which high do I get out at? Okay, well, don't argue with that. Where's 5 handles? Get out there. Do that for a couple months. Get accustomed to that. Build up some mental capital. What does it feel like to be right? Following this logic, what does it feel like? Because you don't know what that feels like. That's why you're uncertain. That's why you're afraid to put any time into it, because you're afraid that too many people are learning ICT. It's going to stop working. They're going to change the markets. What the fuck? You're arguing that there is no algorithm, but then you're saying the same people are saying, but if all these people start doing it, the market's going to start going against it. What the fuck? You just admitted that there's an algorithm. So come on. I mean, these people are stupid. They're fucking stupid. They're wasting all this time worrying about shit that isn't going to happen. What if thinking? What if you put your ass down in front of the charts and studied like I told you? What if you did all that and it worked out and you made fucking money? What if it changed your whole fucking family tree and you don't live in lack anymore? What if you can make your ends fucking meet if you just listened? Think about that. You're bringing your bullshit, your myopic perspective into this. That's a problem. That is a fucking problem. You need to change it. You need to recalibrate. You're bringing negativity in something that you're intrigued enough to say, well, let me take a look at this guy's video or anybody else's shit. But you're too critical over it and yourself. You've already defeated yourself. Before you even started, you have defeated yourself. You convinced yourself that there's no point in trying. It's a losing cause, so why bother? So why the fuck are you on social media posting that kind of shit? Because you're negative. There's something wrong in you. There's a disconnection. You need to identify what that is. There's a triggering that's going on. It's not ICT that does it. A lot of people would like to say, oh, I hate that fucking guy. Fuck you. I don't care if you like me or not. The point is, this is the truth. It's the facts. I brought in my own baggage. I needed to feel significant because my own fucking parents didn't want me. You can't get any bigger than that. And I had a wife that left me. Hello? What do you got? What the fuck's your holdup? What's your problem? Where's your baggage? Like, those are two biggest fucking things. The people that birthed me and the fucking woman I'm supposed to spend the rest of my life with. Both of them walked out. What the fuck do you have that's worse than that? It's just mental baggage. Leave it at the fucking door. Come on in, warm up. We brought cookies, we got refreshments. Hang out for a little while because you're going to leave a different person. You're going to know, I ain't got to be like that person. And leave the fucking baggage. We'll get rid of it on our own. We'll toss it out. We'll throw it in the bin for you. But leave that shit. Don't come into this learning experience with all this negativity bullshit. And what if thinking, and what if it does this, and what if it does that? What happens if you just follow the rules? And you do what other people around the fucking world that are doing independent of me. I'm not telling them what they're trading. They're doing it on their own. Making fortunes. Fortunes! Have you made $100,000 last year? How about this year? You gonna make $100,000? I got people making that in the same fucking month. In the same week. What are you complaining about? It doesn't cost you anything to pull up a fucking video. It takes time. Yes, I told you that. I didn't hide that from you. But you're missing this opportunity for you to change everything. Not just your ability to make and pay for shit, but your whole life changes. Freedom. Fucking freedom. You don't have to listen to your fucking boss. You don't have to ask when your fucking vacation's allowed to be had. You do what the fuck you want to do. And some of you are coming in here with a Carl mindset. You got to trade every day because that's what fucking a good Carl will do. Fuck Carl. Fuck him. Fuck his mentality. Fuck his approach to life. We don't need the brown-nosed market to keep it in love with us. We know when we can have our one-night stands with this, and there's nothing wrong with it. We can still be married and nobody's divorcing us. Trust me, your fucking wife's going to love you for having a one-night stand with the fucking ES, okay? You're getting in there, no STDs. The only STDs we got is standard deviation. Everything I said, I meant it. And it's all meant in the light of you improving. If you have a mentor, if you have somebody on YouTube that you like to watch, encourage them respectfully. Don't go there and troll. Don't go out there and say shit like, we've never seen a payout from you before this one. That kind of shit. It's ignorant. I observe the same thing. I'm not going to beat this person up, but encourage them to be more open with what they find difficult. And you're going to find that if you're that type of person that you're out there trying to share what you do or trying to teach, and you're open and you're honest with what you have found difficult in your trading, and this is back to my challenge. This is for everybody that has a YouTube channel that's listening to me. I would love, and I will literally look at all your videos. If you tweet it to me, I'll watch your video. Okay, if you're doing this. I want you to be honest and talk about what you have struggled with in your trading. Like what was the biggest boulder? What was the barrier, the roadblock in your understanding that you may still be underneath of in terms of feeling the pressure from, or what you overcome? Preferably, I'd love to hear the ones that have overcome it and what they did to do that, because you're going to see everybody's dealing with unique shit. And what was the reasons for them to feel this problem? And if they're honest, and I don't expect, honestly, the level of honesty that I would like to see, but I'm encouraging you all. Like I open myself up when I do these, and I've done certain YouTube video series where, I mean, you heard me cry. I'm a fucking man, and I'm a human being. I have a heart. And when I think about the things I've done, and I caused my family to miss me when I was right in the same room with them, in the same house, and like a ghost, I would pass by them and get right back to my charts. I caused that pain. I did that. And I regret it. I can't fix it. So the only thing I can do is spend more time with them. It might be for you, fear of losing. And what did you do to overcome that? It might be fear of getting into a trade, fear of not getting out at the right price. Whatever. I'm just giving you suggestions. I'm not saying, let me use that and make a video. I mean, be honest, because people are going to be able to tell if this is genuine or not. If you got the balls to do it, you got there and be honest and say, this is what I have dealt with for this much time, or still encountering. And even though I can make money, this is what I keep coming up against. I keep coming up against that. I promise you, your fucking community will love you for that. They will love you for it, because you're not trying to be superstar, rock star, celebrity trader that knows everything. I don't do that. And I am that, and I don't present myself like that. I'm real. When I fuck up things, I will tell you, I fucked that up. I didn't do that right. This is what I had to learn from that. That's real mentoring. That's somebody that went through some real shit, learned from it, and this is how to avoid it and why you shouldn't do these types of things. Because you're not going to be the exception. You're not going to be the person that you can walk around and say, well, that didn't happen to me. And so many young guys do the same shit that I say not to do and say, yeah, I'm just like ICT, blah, blah, blah. Like it's a fucking brotherhood. We don't want you to do that. I don't want you to fucking have that pain. It's scar tissue. It's going to limit you. If you do the things I tell you to do and avoid the things I tell you to avoid, you can be better than I am. Even just trading one model that I created, you can be better than I am. How is that even possible? Well, number one, I'm never satisfied with my exits. I'm never, ever, ever satisfied with my exits. Never. I'm never fucking satisfied with them. I don't care how much money I can make in them. I'm never satisfied with them. My entries, unless I say otherwise, I'm pretty much getting in where I want to get in. But my weakness is my exits. I'm not content. I want more precision on my exits. And you probably look at what I'm doing and thinking, what the fuck, dude, if I could have just 25% of that, I'm great. But I'm not. So that's where I'm telling you, I have an issue with that. I wrestle with that every day. And when the markets are not trading and I'm contemplating what I can do to change things or what ideas I want to pursue and what I want to tweak, and it's always on the exit strategies. That's it. Because entries, I have that in lock. It's a given. I have no fucking fear of getting into anything. Like I said, I got 81 different ways to get into something. I'm getting in that bitch. Trust me. It's a vault. I'm getting in it. I'm taking something out of there. It may not be all of it, but I'm going to take something out of it. The folks that hate me, that can't stand me because I literally had been teaching with a demo and I'm blowing up with a demo. I've shown live trading. I made $25,000 in 1 month, flipping a quarter. Okay, flipping a fucking quarter and doing a few things for students in my private mentorship to ask me questions about. Could you do this? How do I fix this? And I did that, and I made $25,000. None of that shit. Go through all those trade executions, and you won't see any of the models I've taught. It's not there. That's just managing money. And if you know how to make money, you can fucking flip a coin and make money. That's the proof. If I was in a fucking courtroom, I'd say, here's what I did this day. I flipped here. It was heads that day. Buy. It was this. Tails. It's sell. And I had to force myself to do that. That's it. That's all I was doing there. What do you think is going to happen when you apply sound money management? Sound money management, good risk reward, and you're choosing your setups based on the logic I'm teaching. Your results are almost fucking guaranteed. The closest thing you can get to a guarantee of finding success over a large sample set. Not every individual trade is going to be a win, but over a large sample set, you can reasonably expect a positive outcome. Now, a person that has mental baggage coming in can't expect that because they're going to do everything, whether they realize it or not, subconsciously, inadvertently, or directly, to derail themselves. You're angry at your wife. You're angry at your husband. You don't feel like you're getting enough attention from them. You're going to act out. They said something to you to piss you off at work. You didn't get recognized at work. You got fired. Somebody did something to your child at school and you want to go up there and fucking make the news. All that kind of stuff. That's real world shit. And if you're in a market, if you're in a trade, or if you go into a trade to kind of compensate for that, to give you a different vibe, to feel better about what the situation you're in. Because if I can make $500, hey man, that's better than wanting to go up there and kill this motherfucker that had his kid come in and hit my kid or do something inappropriate. Whatever it is that real world brought to you that causes you discomfort or just boredom. If you have allowed boredom to come in and invite you into taking a trade, I ain't got nothing else to do. I don't really see anything in the market right now. The pattern I'm looking for, let me just go in here and buy it and see what happens. And you fuck around and you find out. Do you fall into that impulsiveness all the time? Do you do it frequently? Those types of things. As silly as they may sound, some of you are probably nodding your head like, I do that shit. What the hell? That is what it's like to be human. When you're human, these intrusive thoughts, they come in. And if you allow these intrusive thoughts to dictate the direction or execution where there's money behind it at risk, are you really trading? Or are you doing a science experiment? Mm-hmm. It's like taking chlorine and mixing it with brake fluid. Now, the average person, oh, what the fuck's that going to do? You don't want to do that. It will catch fire. Those two ingredients coming together, they're incendiary. You don't want to do that. But that's what you're doing. You're thinking, okay, I got something good and clean. Okay, I got something good and clean. I'm going to try to make something of myself in trading. That's the chlorine. That's the element we're talking about here. Okay, you're doing the right thing, trying to improve your life, but you bring in any brake fluid. You're stopping yourself. You're stopping yourself from doing something that the rules say you shouldn't do, or you should do, and that brake fluid being introduced to the chlorine, the good aspect of you trying to make a good thing in your life, clean up your act. It actually catches on fire. Violently on fire. And I know some of you are out there going to, I'm going to go and do that. I got a pool. I'm going to get some chlorine, get some brake. Make sure if you hurt yourself or burn your fucking shit down, don't blame me. Okay. But the average person doesn't know that. And ignorance doesn't exonerate you from the damages that you would cause by fucking around and finding out. So when you're doing these things and you're allowing intrusive thoughts in your personal life that's causing you pain, discomfort, boredom, rage, anger, insignificance, not getting the attention from your significant other, well, if I'm not getting it from him, or if I'm not getting it from her, I'm going to go out there and make me some money because it'll remind me that I don't need them. I can go do my own shit and find someone else that better life can be had with, which leads to a whole new discussion that we won't have here now. But all those things human beings have a tendency to do. And I've been open with what I've done in the past where I hurt myself I've caused monetary loss and scar tissue and mental baggage that I still wrestle with today. There are certain times when I get in the marketplace, I remind myself of, not because I want to remember it, but it just reminds me because I've done so many different trades that this is the time. There's a time I did this type of trade before and I didn't know this and that. And my mind shifts to that bad moment and I lose my concentration about what it is I'm looking for. That's some things that I wrestle with. That scar tissue, you start worrying about, like that piece of meat. Okay, you eat a steak, you get a little piece of meat between your teeth. What happens? If you don't have floss to get it out, your tongue keeps going right back to it. You can't really listen to somebody talking to you, and you're nodding your head, and I hear what you're fucking saying, but you're just trying to get that little piece of fucking meat between your teeth out. That's what scar tissue's like when you're trading with bad experiences. You will go back to those things where it hurt you before, and you won't be able to focus clearly without any confusion or any kind of distraction about the very trade you're in. This is why I teach you the way I teach you. I don't want you, and you just don't realize you don't have that problem. And if you have the problem, you're nodding your head right now. You're like, I know exactly what the fuck you're talking about. I know exactly what you're talking about. And I wish I would have known this beforehand. But once you have it, you can't do anything but live with it. It makes it harder to be a trader like that. It's difficult to do that. And the way I teach and how I teach with a demo account, you can't get that problem. It's impossible for you to get that problem. Why fucking people have an issue with this shit, whether it's a demo or not, because literally it's the same fucking thing. The people that are following my shit when I'm on Twitter and I'm saying it's going to go here and they buy it and they make money, do you think they give a fuck about whether I talked about it in a demo or not? They made money on it. They watched it unfold. They don't give a fuck. They're also aware that every funded account out there is a fucking demo. So stop talking about fucking demos like it's a fucking problem. People are making money learning from me and studying in their own demo account. When they get comfortable with what they're looking at and they wrestle through all their bullshit and find out where their character flaws are, and they're honest with that, they make either a coping skill to work around it or correct it. It might be a substance abuse. It could be alcoholism. It could be, smoking weed. If you're smoking weed and you're trading, you're fucking stupid. Okay? You're fucking stupid. You're literally dulling your fucking senses and you're fucking making it harder. Okay? You want to do that on the weekend. No markets, no none of that shit. Okay? You want to get high, get fucking lit, get baked, whatever the fuck you want to call it, on the weekend where you can't do anything or hurt yourself in the marketplace. You shouldn't smoke. It's going to tear your fucking lungs up. I don't care what anybody says. It's hurting your lungs. Edibles, have at it. But alcoholism, you don't want to be drinking. You don't want to have it anywhere near you while you're trading. I don't drink. I've never drank alcohol or got drunk, but I've seen the effects of it. And nobody, in my opinion, is going to effectively trade well intoxicated. Okay, this is not. And to try to be the person that proves me wrong there is stupid. So it might be as extreme as something like that you're wrestling with, or something as simple as, you just want to feel significant and you're impatient about it and you want to do something right away because a win will make you feel significant. And most of the time it's that very thing for men. For women, they just want to feel confident that they don't have to rely on a secondary income, which will allow them to live their relationship with their significant other more honestly. Because unfortunately, women sometimes are codependent on a male because they're the breadwinner. And if they help their household, stay afloat, and they don't have enough to contribute to support it without them, they stay in relationships they otherwise wouldn't be in. And I'm not trying to false the idea of divorces or separations, but in some instances, certain relationships are not healthy for them to be in. It could be physically abusive, it could be mentally abusive, and they're trapped. And this skill set, when they learn how to do it, will allow them to weigh out whether or not this is a really healthy relationship. And honestly, if you want to know if a man really loves you, if you can make the money that supports the household and you still give him respect as the man, he's going to love you like a queen, like you've never been before. Because he's going to know she don't need to be with me. Like she makes real bread and she chooses to be with me and she's monogamous with me and I'm content and I love this woman because she could be somewhere else and she's choosing me. How's that for a life lesson? You got to think about it, young men, because a lot of times you're thinking with your dick Okay. And women aren't thinking with their dick. They're not thinking with your dick. They will manipulate you with your dick. And maybe you never thought I'd go here, but this is the reality of it, folks. People are human, and relationships are manipulated. And sometimes we pretend we're in love just to cope. But when you start making real money, it might open your eyes up. Do you really love the person you're with? Or are you just codependent